Не вижу. Там подсвечивает ужасно. Вон они там. Stop it, Nicholas. В море отошло. Они там набрали. Не крабов ли? What did you say? What you found? Show me.
A crab.
Oh, show me. Go closer. Put him in your...
No, he pinches.
You got the wire?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Well, you just take this out of the box.
Так, so what do you have in this bag? Did you have crab? How many you got? Ah, how are they called them?
Winkles.
Winkles?
Yeah.
I think they called cockles, so.
No, they're winkles.
They have a nice time or what?
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, it was lovely and warm. Yeah.
Was it, did you swim?
Yes, yes.
Did you swim?
I swam, yeah.
А болотный Глеб?
He did as well, of course.
Он здесь костюм.
Well, that's a look.
I guess waterproof camera. You can film if you like. I'll leave a little bit for you. Under the water. Боря, I have waterproof camera here with me. You can film if you...
Underwater camera?
Yeah? Waterproof.
That can go underwater.
Huh?
Can go underwater.
Of course you can.
Waterproof, but not underwater camera.
It shouldn't be longer than 1 meter down, and it shouldn't be longer than 3 minutes.
Sun might help.
Dad, can you turn it over? Can you turn it over?
Yeah, pat it down, put some more sand on.
It's really heavy.
Heavy
He
limb.
doesn't give any suntan on this costume. Why you keep this costume on him? Huh? What do you mean you take it off? How long you been in this costume? Why didn't you take it off? It's wet. It's only for swimming, not for walking on the beach. Anglo-Saxon village.
You want to squeeze in?
Anglo-Saxon village will be shown now. Beowulf. Come on. We're stuck here. Oh. Beowulf, look. He's like a cave. Oh, there's no light here.
I know.
You don't have any electric here, no?
No electric, no. Right, you can sit on the bed. I don't know if you can squash up or you can kneel at the back or whatever. Different monsters or feats to prove himself. Now we meet Beowulf when he's heard of a really terrible monster that is plaguing a king called Hrothgar the Dane. Now this monster is called Grendel, and what has happened is Hrothgar, who is a very good king, has built a wonderful hall, much bigger than this, highly decorated, gold, silver, wall hangings, beautiful place, warmth of the fire, which of course we haven't got on today because then we wouldn't have been able to get anybody in at all, and it's a fantastic place. But there is a monster that lives nearby, and he hears all the sounds coming from this wonderful mead hall. This mead hall is so fantastic, it's got its own name, and it's called Heorot. And the monster is so jealous of all these people enjoying themselves that he begins to visit the mead hall when the warriors are asleep, and one by one he begins to kill the warriors and drag them off.
What?
No. They just get a bit frightened. And so Beowulf comes to prove himself, to offer his service to King Hrothgar, to protect the Hall of Heorot by killing the monster Grendel. So I think with no more ado, we will see if Beowulf manages to do that. Now just so that we've got a bit more room, I'm actually going to stand outside and read through the window because Gliding through the shadows came the walker in the night. The warriors slept whose task it was to hold the horn building, all except one. It was well known to men that the demons could not drag them into the shades without God's willing it. Yet the one man kept on blinking watch. He awaited, heart swelling with anger against his foe, the ordeal of battle. Down off the moorland's misting fells came Grendel stalking. God's brand was on him. The spoiler meant to snatch away from the high hall some of the human race. He came on under the clouds, clearly saw at last the gold hall of men, the mead drinking place, nailed with gold plates. This was not the first visit he had paid to the hall of Hrothgar the Dane. Never before and never after harder luck nor hall guards found. Walking to the hall came the warlike creature condemned to agony. The door gave way, toughened with iron at the touch of those hands. Raging flames, wreckage flakes, he ripped open the jaws of the hall,
monster.
hastening on, spoke and stepped onto the unstained floor. Out of his eyes stood an unlovely light like that of fire. He saw there in the hall a host of young soldiers, a company of kinsmen, taken away in sleep, a whole warrior band. In his heart he laughed then, horrible monster, his hopes swelling to a gluttonous meal. He meant to wrench the life from each body that lay in the place before the night was done. It was not to be. He was no longer to feast on the flesh of mankind after that night. Narrowly, the powerful kinsman of Hygelac kept watch how the ravager set to work with his sudden catches, nor did the monster mean to hang back. At a first step, he set his hands on a sleeping soldier, savagely tore at him, gashed at his bone joints, bolted huge gobbets, sucked at his veins, and had soon eaten the dead man, even down to his hands and feet. Forward he stepped, stretched out his hand to seize the warrior calmly at rest there, reached out for him with his unfriendly fingers, but the faster man forestalling, sat up, sent back his arm, the upholder of evil that once knew he had not met on Middle-earth's extremest acres with any a man of harder hand grip. His heart panicked. He was quick to the place, no more quickly for that. Eager to be away, he ailed for his darkness and his devils, and the healings he had there, where there was nothing had he in his lifetime. Then Hygelac, brave kinsman, called to mind the evening's utterances. Upright he stood, fastened his hold till fingers were bursting. The monster strained away. The man stepped closer. The monster's desire was for darkness between them, direction regardless, to get out and run for his fen-bordered lair. He felt his grip strength crushed by his enemy. It was an ill journey the rough marauder had made to Heorot. The crashing in the banqueting hall came to the aid. The men of the guard remained in the building with the taste of death. The deepening rage of the claimants of Heorot caused it to resound. It was indeed wonderful that the wives of the four withstood the wrestling pair, that the world's palace fell not to the ground, but it was girt firmly both inside and out by many iron braces of skilled manufacture. Many-figured gold-worked wine bench had been firmly the darkest of the floor at the struggle of that pair. The men of the Danes did not imagine that any of mankind, by what method soever, might undo the intricate antlered pull, sunder it by strength, unless it was followed up by the embraces of fire. Fear entered to the listening North Danes as the noise raised up again, strange and strident. It showed terror to the ears that heard it through the hall's wall side. The grisly plaint of God's enemy, his song of ill success, the sobs of the damned one bewailing his pain. He was pinned there by the man of all mankind living, in this world's estate, the strongest of his hands. Not for anything would the earl God let his deadly death go on living, nor did he count his continued existence of the least use to anyone. The earls ran to defend the person of their famous prince. They ran. They can't get the stuff. They drew their ancestral swords to bring what aid they could to their captive Beowulf. They were ignorant of this when they entered the fight, boldly intentioned battle friends, to hew at Grendel's hunted life on every side, that no sword on earth, not the truest steel, could touch their assailant. For by a spell, he dispossessed all blades of their bite on him. A bitter parting from life was that day destined for him. The eldritch spirit was sent off on his far farings to the fiend's domain. It was then that this monster, who, moved by spite against humankind, had caused so much harm, so feuding with God, found at last that flesh and bone were to fail him in the end. For Cailleach's great-hearted kinsman had him by the hand, and hastened to each was the command of the other. A breach in the giant's flesh frame showed then, shoulder and all sprang apart. There was a snapping of tendons, bone locks burst. To Beowulf the glory of the fight was granted. Grendel's lot to flee the slopes fenward with flagging heart, to a den where he knew there could be no relief, no refuge from a life at its very last stage, whose surrender day had dawned. The Danish host in this fatal fight had found their answer. He had cleansed Heorot. He who had come from afar, deep-minded, strong-hearted, had saved the Hall from persecution. He was pleased with his night's work, the deed he had done. Before the Danish people, the Geats captain had made good his boast, had taken away all their unhappiness, the evil menace under which they had lived, enduring it by no dire constraint, no sign of fiction. As a signal to all, the hero hung up the hand, the arm, the torn-off shoulder, the entire limb, Grendel's whole gate below the gable of the roof. And so, the monster has been defeated, and everybody is very happy. And so is that the...
His mum isn't happy because he's back home with one limb missing. She gets very angry and she sets out for revenge. She sneaks up to the hall, sneaks in, commits some murders, and takes away Aschir, who is the king's wisest companion, his friend. In the morning, of course, everyone wakes up and realises what has happened. They realise that this particular tale of monsters is not over, and Beowulf realises he must still do great deeds. So, putting on his armour, eventually, he gets his companions together, men who are sworn to aid him in all battles. They set off, following the blood trail from Grendel from the previous night, following it across the moorlands, across the marsh. So they finally find a place where they believe Grendel's lair is, and where they believe this second monster has come from. He's wearing his mail shirt, his best form of defence. He's going to put his helmet on.
Another monster, mommy.
The heaviest pieces of armour on the head.
His mommy, Grendel has mommy.
Boar on top of it for courage. As well.
Huh? The monster mommy now.
You left his sword at home. You left his sword at home? There's a sword there. Pick that one. borrow one from the king.
Oh, God, it's very kind of you.
Peter?
He came back up and wandered off again. So around
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, just looking for my husband. He's gone somewhere. Where is he, Emily? I don't know where he is. Oh, look.
Are you ready? Yes. He's ready. Very well then. Part 2. Beowulf and Grendel's mother. Going on ahead with a handful of the keener men to reconnoitre, Beowulf suddenly saw where some ash trees hung above a hoary rock at cheerless wood, and the water beneath it was turbid with blood. Bitter distress was to be endured by the Danes who were there, a grief for earls, for every thane of the friends of the Shieldings, when they found the head of Aschere by the edge of the
Mów
cliff.
się dalej, nie usypać. Come on, nie usypać. Ja
The
muszę
weather
tu monster.
dived into the mere, and the waves closed over the daring man. It was a day's space, almost, before he could glimpse ground at the bottom. The grim and greedy guardian of the flood, keeping her hungry 100-season watch, discovered at once that one from above, a human, had sounded the home of the monsters. She felt for the man, and fastened upon him with terrible
There's a
hooks.
monster, mommy, look.
But no harm came
She's
thereby
not
to the
scared.
hale
Come on,
bodied
go
limb.
ahead.
The
Don't
harness so ringed him,
She's
she
not
could
very
not
scared.
drive her dire fingers through the mesh of the male shirt masking his limbs. When she came to the bottom, she bore him to her lair, the mere wolf pinioning the mail-clad prince. Not all his courage could enable him to draw his sword, but swarming through the water, throngs of sea beasts threw themselves upon him with ripping tusks to tear his battle coat, tormenting monsters. Then the man found that he was in some enemy hall, where there was no water to weigh upon him, and the power of the flood could not pluck him away. Sheltered by its roof, a shining light he saw, a bright fire blazing clearly. It was then he saw the size of the water hag. The size of the water hag. Damned thing of the deep.
Water
He
hag.
dashed out his weapon,
She's a witch.
not
What a witch.
hitting a stroke, with such strength and violence that the circled sword screamed on her head a strange battle song. But the stranger saw that the battle flame refused to bite, or hurt her at all. The edge failed its lord in its need. It had lived through many hand-to-hand conflicts and carved through the helmets of fated men. This was the first time that this rare treasure had betrayed its name. Determined still, intent on fame, the nephew of Iolach renewed his courage. Furious, the warrior flung it to the ground, spiral patterned, precious on its clasps, stiff and steel-edged. His own strength would suffice him, the might of his hands. A man must act so when he means in a fight to frame himself a long-lasting glory. It is not life he thinks of. The Geat Prince went for Grendel's mother, seized her by the shoulder. He was not sorry to be fighting his mortal foe, and with mounting anger and man hard in battle, hurled her to the ground.
Horrible, mommy, look.
She promptly repaid this present of his as her ruthless hands reached out for him. And the strongest of fighting men stumbled in his weariness, and the firmest foot warriors fell to the earth. She was down on this guest of hers and had drawn her knife, broad, burnished of edge. For her boy was to be avenged, her only son. Overspreading his back, the shirted male, shielding his life then, barred the entry to edge and point. Ecgtheow's son would have ended his venture deep underground there, the deep fighter, had not the battle shirt brought him aid, his war shirt of steel. And the wise Lord, the holy God, gave out the victory. The ruler of heavens rightly settled it, as soon as the Geats regained his feet. He saw, among the armour there, the sword that would give him victory. A giant sword of former days. Formidable were its edges, a warrior's admiration. This wonder of its kind was yet so enormous that no other man would be equal to bearing it in battle play. It was a giant's forge that had fashioned it so well. The shielding champion, shaking with war rage, caught it by its rich hilt and, careless of his life, brandished its circles and brought it down in fury to take her full and fairly across the neck. Breaking the bone, the blade sheared through the death-doomed flesh. She fell to the ground. The sword was gory. He was glad of the deed. The geek champion did not choose to take any treasures from that hall, from the heaps he saw there, other than the richly ornamented hilt.
They're only dressing up clothes.
You think so?
The engraved blade had melted and burnt away. The blood was too hot. The fiend that had died there too deadly by far. The survivor of his enemy's onslaught picked up the head of Grendel. And he found it in the murk. Oh, it's too hard to find. Yeah, okay. Ah. Might help. And set to swimming, struck up through the water. Both the deep reaches and the rough waves swirl were thoroughly cleansed now the creature from the other world drew breath no longer in this brief world's space. Then the seaman's helm came swimming up strongly to land, delivering his sea trove, those mighty burdens that he bore along with him. They went to meet in the manly company, thanking God, that of their Lord, seeing him safe and sound once more. Quickly the champion's corselet and helmet were loosened from him. The lake's waters, solid with blood, slept beneath the sky. Then they turned away from there and retraced their steps, pacing the familiar path back again, as bold as kings, carefree at heart. Carrying of the head from the cliff by the mere was no easy task for any of them. Brave as they were, they bore it up, 4 of them, and transported it back, Grendel's head, to the gold-giving hall. Hooray!
Oh, lovely.
It's a bit wet out there.
It's dressing up
Right,
clothes.
give us a few
Ah,
moments. We
see?
will set up for
Вот
the
монстр, вот Кирилл, Грендел монстр.
third and final even.
But eventually, he becomes
Like
a king.
Caroline.
King in his
He
own
became a
right
king.
and has his own kingdom. He is a good king and his people love him. He provides well for them and everybody has as much as they need. But his exploits as a young man
I had some
have gone
black
before him.
Caroline.
Everybody knows his
Take
reputation.
it back in.
So no king from any of the surrounding kingdoms ever dare try to attack or
Where's
invade
Dad?
Beowulf.
Which is a king now,
For
see?
they know that Beowulf will drive them off. Beowulf by this time has been king for 50 years, so he's in his 70s.
Oh, he's old man now, see?
Yes, his hair, as they say, is white with winters. He's grown slightly.
Oh, look,
Good
this
eating,
is,
king. You see,
that's how he became now.
This
Look.
is now King
Exercise,
Beowulf. Yes. Yeah, good balanced diet, plenty
He's
of
grown,
exercise
see?
and
Yeah.
eating of a few peasants, yeah? But even though he's an old king, if any trouble
Good thing.
should come to the land, it is still his duty to protect his people. As you say, nobody from around about would dare attack him, but just such a danger appears, and it appears in the form of another monster.
Oh,
One day, one of Beowulf's men is out exploring the countryside, and he finds a stone and earth mound. And the man goes into this mound and finds a pile of treasure. Now, I'm sure you probably know that piles of treasure in earthen and stone mounds usually have a guard, and the guard is usually in the form of a dragon.
dragon.
Now,
Mm.
instead of running for his life, this man steals some of the
Can you see
treasure
it
from the dragon and wakes the dragon from its slumber. A dragon will not let this go. Even the smallest part of his treasure must not be taken from him. So in revenge, the dragon begins to burn the villages round about. And with his people being murdered in this way, Beowulf must once again take to the field to destroy the dragon and protect his people. Now, dragons are fearsome monsters. Blah, 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 blah. Take 2. Dragons are fearsome monsters. And you couldn't expect one person to kill a dragon all on their own. But that is why, night after night, in the halls to the one over there, Beowulf has given food and mead, entertainment, weapons and armour to his companions, so that when the time comes, they will pay him back by standing with him in battle or to protect his country. One of the men that has been feasted in the hall is Wiglaf, who is a kinsman of Beowulf, and has promised that come the time he will stand next to his lord. And there are many other men who have taken this promise too. So all of you here, we can join in with this bit. You can be the hearth companion that has stayed by the hearth with Beowulf and made these promises. Now Beowulf, although he is incredibly old for a king,
Still a good thing.
Does look like.
he may be old, sad and catholic, but he is wise. And he knows that dragons breathe fire, so if he takes with him as the defence a wooden shield to fight a dragon, then it will be burnt to a cinder. So he has a special metal shield made to fight the dragon with. And Beowulf is now ready to go and fight the dragon.
Oh, look at this
Entrances beside his towering shield the Lord of Friends, while the sweetness of the serpent wound itself together. He waited in its armour. It came flowing forward, flaming, coiling, crushing on its feet.
Wat monster
It was not long again, the next meeting of those merciless ones. The barrow guards took heart, his breast heaved with fresh outbreath. Firing close the form of foes, he felt bitter pain. The band of picked companions did not come and stand beside him as battle music asked. Offering a rattling, they escaped to the woods, saved their lives. Sorrow filled the breast of one man. The bonds of kinship nothing may remove for a man who thinks rightly. This was Wiglaf, Waexton's son, a well-loved shieldman, a shifling prince of the stock of Alfheim. He could see his lord tormented by the heat through his battle mask. He could not then hold back. Hand gripped the yellow lindenwood shield, shook out the ancient sword that Aemond, Othir's son, had left among men. For the youthful warrior, this was the first occasion when he had called on to stand by his dear lord's shoulder in the shock of battle. His courage did not crumble, nor did his kinsman's heirloom weaken at the war play, as the worm found out when they had got to grips with one another.
The dragon's not
Wiglaf
real.
then spoke many words that were fitting, addressed his companions,
real.
dark
Zoals
with
Daddy will take you well, Nicholas.
I remember the time as we were taking mead in the banqueting hall. We bound ourselves to the gracious Lord, who granted us arms, that we might make return for these weapons of war, these helms and hard swords, if an hour such as this should ever chance for him. He armed me with you as he accounted us, keen under helmets, men able with spear. He chose us from all his hosts for this adventure here, expecting action, although he chose to take on this task of courage on his own share as shepherd of the people.
He strode through the battle smoke, wore his war helmet to the aid of his loved lord, uttered few words.
Beloved Beowulf, bear all things well. You gave it out long ago in your youth that while living you would not allow your glory ever to abate. Bold-tempered chieftain, famed for your deeds, you must defend your life with all your strength, and I shall help you.
When these words had been spoken, the worm came on, ruffled, attacked a second time, terrible visitant, sought out his foes in a surge of flame that hated men. Mail shirt did not serve the young spearman. The shield was withered back to the block by the billow of fire. But when the blazing had burnt up his own, the youngster stepped smartly to take the cover of his kinsman. Then did the kingly warrior remember his deeds again, dealt out a sword blow with its full strength. It struck the head with annihilating weight, but nailing snapped, failed in battle Beowulf's sword of ancient grey steel. A third time the terrible fire drake remembered the feud, The foe of the people rushed in on the champion when a chance offered. Seized him with war spite, he seized his whole neck between bitter fangs. Blood covered him, Beowulf's lifeblood let him stream. Then I heard how the Earl alongside the King, in the hour of need, made known the valour, boldness and strength that were bred in him. His hands burned as he helped his kinsman, but the brave soldier in his splendid armour ignored the head and hit the attacker somewhat below it, so that the sword went in, flashing hilted, and the fire began to slacken as consequence. The King once more took command of his wits, caught up a stabbing knife of the keenest battle sharpness that he carried in his harness, and the geat's helm struck through the serpent's body. So daring drove out life. They had downed their foe by common action, the Atheling pair, and had made an end of them. Beowulf spoke. He spoke through the pain of his fatal wound. He well knew he had come to the end of his allotted days, his earthly happiness. All the number of his days had disappeared. Death was very near.
I would now wish to give my garments in battle to my own son, if any such artful inheritor and heir to my body have been granted to me. I have guarded this people for half a century. Not a single ruler of all the nations neighbouring about has dared to threaten me with his friends in war or with terrors. Bid men of battle build me a tomb, fair after fire, on the foreland by the sea, towering high above Huron's that will stand as a reminder of me to my people, so that ocean travellers shall afterwards name it Beowulf's Barrow.
Clapping.
Now, because it's a story, Beowulf doesn't really die,
Hey!
and neither does the dragon.
Ooh.
Look at that, Fritz, you'll stop
Look,
doing
is still alive? Like the George.
Thank you all much for cramming in that performance. We usually do this outside, but with the rain, thought it was a move of locations the guy did. Actually worked rather well, I think. Right,
Good reaction to Grendel coming in.
We're Wolf English Society. We'll sort our props out and everything else. We're going to have our lunch over there. So if you want to see us eating and cooking authentically, you can have a look at that. Otherwise, we'll be around about doing other things in the house later on. Thank you for watching.
Lovely. Very good. Apart from this one, I think this one was
Mom, why
I
couldn't
think second part was, excuse me, I think second part was the story of the George and the Dragon, is it? Second part.
No,
Not really, no.
It's from the poem, but it is quite, it's
Quite similar.
it's quite similar, but it's
But it's not what's in the book, because in the book it's when he's actually defeat his mother, Grendel's mother, that's all, yeah?
no,
the book it goes all the way through in the poem.
Yeah, there's a lot
About
more.
dragon as well?
Yes,
The dragon
there's a
is-
dragon
the
finally
dragon is
kills
at the
it.
end, 'cause
That's the end.
I'm actually reading from the poem as it's written,
Mm.
so it's all the words are right,
Mm.
with our actions.
It's just very similar to me to George and the Dragon.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, it's quite similar.
But dragons appear for sort of thousands of years in different stories, doing much the same thing. So, yeah.
Very good, very good. You think at 2 o'clock you will do it on outside, the same show?
Okay.
There's no PSP.
No, there's no PSP, no nothing.
It'll be a horrible life without any PSP.
How? You know, people still could be happier. Oh, there's something else here, look. Oh, look at this. There's a lady doing something fire here, look. Don't smell this potato. So time the Beowulf, they're like English used to live. There's no dragon, there's no monster here, darling. It's just a friendly lady here. Hello. Just a friendly lady. Oh, Lily? Look at this, how much food. This house, your ancestors lived many, many, many years ago, look. No, yes, you're right, you didn't have any PSP. No even electric.
Bring me a rock.
Tell me what you want on it, and I will measure it naturally.
They cook the food on the fire. See how they cook the food? Yeah, they do kebab. Look, there's a game. Look, what the people playing there. It's very similar to our draft.
Tell me if there's any practical difficulties.
And then you get your extras too.
But otherwise, no problem.
Тут всему. Nicholas блаженный. О, is he alright?
No, are you allowed to eat?
Huh?
Are you allowed to eat?
There's no food here. Let's go to see what. Was Nicholas okay?
I also saw him die.
We saw Grendel. We saw horrible monster, didn't we, Lily?
Not dying.
Look, there's no rain anymore.
No. Very interesting, this one. She's making dye to dye her wool and her clothes and that.
Look at this. Let's have a look. Come on, Lily, look.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you see the colours I've made?
Can we sit down here? Yes, let's sit down.
Oh, yeah, please, help yourself.
Come on, let's sit down. Look, this is interesting.
See that lovely...
Madder. Madder, yes, madder root.
Okay, go in then. I'm going to try showing how this...
Closed.
Вот это. Village. Anglo-Saxon Village. Уф, вон какой домик старый. Молодцы, конечно, хорошо сделали все. Вот мы вот в этих домиках. Меня трясет. Как в лихорадке сегодня. Ой. А свиньи там пасутся. А это вон, это маленькая, что ли, миниатюрная реконструкция. Уф, ну смотри, как они хорошо сделали. О, петухи тут гуляют. Маленькая реконструкция этой. Прям как домик для 3 поросят. Уф.
Old-fashioned lathe, basically.
Whole lathe, yeah. So, spring powered. And that turns around like that. As you pull that down, resprings itself and works on out of the chisel.
Yeah.
And it's made for bowls, legs, tables, any sort of furniture, that sort of thing, anything round really. Pivots, swords and stuff.
Is that the old English type bow?
It is, yeah.
Is the, shall we say that in 1066 and the like, or is that?
This is probably a bit later. I mean, this type of bow has been around since the year dot. They found them 5,000 years old in Danish bogs. I mean, the English longbow, it's called the longbow because it's got this, can you see, sort of curved back to it.
Yeah.
That's what a longbow is, as opposed to a flat bow, which can be just as long, but it's just got a flat cross section. And you do that, hold it in one hand, pull that. If you haven't got an arrow in, then you just let it go gently like that. If you've got an arrow in, you go all the way back to your chin.
Peter, stay away, Peter. Peter, stay away.
You learn how to use that. And after a little bit of practice, you'll be really good at it.
That's what we used to do to the French people. That's where the V-sign comes from. Well, it's to show that we hadn't had our fingers cut off.
On trenches, yeah. Bow's no good without these things. Here we have arrows. So, that's, he says, looking desperately for one, that's a normal hunting arrow. called a broadhead, and that's what you use if you're hunting deer and things in the forest. Okay? If you're in battle, like Beowulf was, did you see the shirt he was wearing? Yeah, the ring shirt. If you're wearing one of those, then what happens to an arrow when you shoot it? It spins through the air like that. Now, if you wear a ringmail shirt and that's spinning through the air, then that can get caught in the rings and won't go into the enemy. So you won't kill him, it'll just get caught in the shirt and bounce out. That's why people wear armour. So what some clever person thought was, if we make the point like that, see how much difference it is. It's much, much smaller. Then as that spins through the air, then that will actually go into the shirt and break the rings apart and go into the soldier. But then again, that's no good for hunting. Because if that hits an animal, it wouldn't wound it enough to kill it.
No.
So the animal would run off into the forest and still wouldn't get any teeth.
No.
That's what hunting's for. That's another one for hunting. It's a bit of a weird shape.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That causes a massive great wound, kills really big animals. So you'd use that on deer and stuff. So you have nice lots of venison. That's made not of metal. What do you reckon that's made from?
Stone.
Yeah, brilliant. It's made from stone called flint. And if you look out all over the floor, there's loads of flint all over.
Everywhere.
Literally everywhere. So if you think, if you've got to go to a blacksmith and ask him to make you an arrowhead, or you can look on the floor and pick a piece of flint up and just sharpen it up, then you've got a free arrow. You don't have to pay anybody for it. So that's handy. And what else we got? That one. You got that one. What do you reckon that's called?
I think you put fire on it.
You don't set fire to my arrows, you don't. No, this is for if you're after a duck or something, because there's lots of ducks and geese around this area on the lake and stuff.
Is it knocks them out?
Yeah, it does. If you shoot one of the normal broadheads at a duck or a goose, then what generally tends to happen is it goes into their body because you've hit it, but their body's quite small, so it goes in one side, out the other side, and it doesn't kill them because they've got really tiny hearts, tiny lungs, tiny organs, so it doesn't kill them. So, what do you do when you're fighting?
Oh, right.
That's what ducks and geese do. They fly into over a tree.
Yeah, out of the way, so you can't
Right, well, you won't spin it properly. So it might get target, so you need three. Doesn't matter which way. No, they will be from the same.
Он сказал, строить дома
Same wood.
из глины.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
That's very interesting, Elena.
Well, that's other houses as well.
Look how dark.
Oh, look at
Tell you
this.
what, that
This
long
how they make this all this thing from clay.
To,
Look how they make this clay thing. Yeah?
You will quite happy to make some if you want to.
Yeah, you want to do it yourself? Lily, you want to do something of clay? Come on then.
I do.
Come on then.
come on, boy,
You mean we can take it home as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, lovely. Lily, look.
do you want to do this?
Girls do.
Nicholas will have got the left.
Okay. Hmm.
Right. There we go. Got plenty more clay if you need it. We can either, or we can do both. We can make a pot, or we can make one of these things, which is called a spindle whorl, or we can do both. What should we do?
Both.
I think we should do both.
Both. Okay. We'll start.
Oh no, Nicholas, no. Oh, he destroyed one of those, okay?
That's all right.
You see, he disabled his, I didn't have time yet.
Do you want some clay to
Huh?
mess around with?
Huh?
Do you want some clay for him to mess around with?
For him? Oh, Nicholas, yeah, he might play. Well, just enough. Yeah. Nicholas, come here. Oh. Come on. Come on. Go to something like this.
That do we? No. Yeah. Get some and roll it in your hands like that. Holding a knife for you.
Lovely.
Okay. Round, around, around, around. I'll help you if you
Nicholas, stay here, darling. You can go and have a look as well. Come on. Hello. Look. If you can stay, but not be naughty, okay? Not touching anything. Okay, Nicholas doing his one. He won't disturb you. I don't think he will. Come on, Nicholas, what are you doing with this? Look.
That's fine, yeah. Squish it down like that.
Hmm?
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Yep, now just peel it off to make sure it's not stuck. That's it, and then put it back down again. Now, what we do with the next piece of clay is we start off just the same, rolling a ball. pull out another, grab another bit, roll a ball.
Lily, you don't know how to roll a ball?
It's what I made that good.
Oh, well, why am I standing up telling you how to do it? I should be sitting down there and you should be telling me. And then, once you've got a ball, do that and roll a sausage.
Oh, that's easy.
Is it easy?
Yeah.
You can roll a sausage on those things if you find it easy.
That's what I think it's easier.
Good.
Some people send me permission and so on.
No, I don't.
Done it.
Right, then
Yeah.
now we need to make another sausage.
This is what you did at school, Lily, yeah? You do the same thing at school, you said?
Yeah.
Similar?
Yeah.
Oh.
I paint my one. I painted my one.
Well, these will take a couple of days to dry, but when they're done and they're dry, you can actually paint them with normal poster paints. They
Ah.
won't hold water or anything.
Mm.
Do you want that one
This
again?
is the same thing like Play-Doh.
Yeah, this is just air drying clay.
Mm.
Special clay, so it just dries in here. You don't need to kill the fire or anything like that.
We do a lot of things with Play-Doh, then we put them in the oven. It's the same thing with this one.
Great.
Yeah.
Alright, and where do you think this sausage goes?
On top of that other one.
You're so right. There we go. Now, we've got that sort of thing, haven't we? Loads of sausages on top of the base. But we want it to look a bit more like that, don't we? So that's smooth, so we need to smooth out these edges. Right, just rubbing them together. So you might need a little dab of water on your finger. And then just rub it that way. And then rub it from side to side. And then rub it up and down. And then rub it from side to side. And you do that all the way round.
And do it on the bottom.
You don't need to do it on the bottom because the bottom's already flat. So just round and round like that to make it all nice and sticky. That's half the fun of it.
Oh, Nicholas. Anglo-Saxon village. Where's Nicholas gone again? He is. Oh, must be born. St. Peter. Это гондолы, лодки. Качим. Домик. Да, подожди, а в каком мы это? Ага, нет.
Dare you to go in the pigsty with the pigs?
I understand what that means. Will Daddy understand you? Daddy, do you understand what you're saying, huh? Peter, do you understand what Gleb's saying?
Kids words, gonna say.
Say it. Tell it to Daddy.
I'm super duper. I can't say it now.
Califragilisticexpialidocious.
No!
Look, Dalmatian Piggy.
A super
Really?
double
Nicholas.
double dare you. Let Donald Duck super dare you to swim with the pigsty.
To what?
Swim with the pigsty.
Let him go.
To enter the pigsty?
That means you have to do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh,
That's bad.
yeah, that means you have to do it if I say.
Peter, wait, I want to show Nicholas pigs.
They're called old spot.
Huh?
They're an English breed.
Put Nicholas here. I want Nicholas here.
No.
They're called old spot.
No.
Put him up
No.
on this thing.
No. No.
What?
Scary.
What's scary?
Come over here.
Don't you think you came there yourself? Now you They still have scarecrow. Look at the funny scarecrow they have got, Lily.
I know.
It's a Viking scarecrow. Peas is ready to eat now.
This is silly.
Look at the funny scarecrow. Nicholas, scarecrow. The dingle dangle scarecrow with the flippy fluffy hat. Helmet, with flippy fluffy helmet. Like I said, it was a museum.
Oh, look, a dinosaur.
Huh? Dinosaur again?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a wolf.
Ooh, look at this, Nicholas, wolf.
Look at the big wolf. Yeah.
Oh no. There's a carpet. Here's a carpet, really.
Mama. That's cool. Mama.
Ooh, look at this kid. I think this is how they build these houses, look. The two principal types of building. What? Look how they make this. Yeah, I know. So what is a saw? Very sharp saw. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at how ladies dressed. Look, Lily. Lily, look. There's ladies here.
The most important thing about
Ooh.
the village was the people who lived there.
Look.
Imagine the people of Anglo-Saxon West Stone gathered together in the hall to listen to a storyteller.
Listen, listen.
Fame of Danish kings in days gone by, the daring feats worked by those heroes are well known to us. But now what's whole?
Yeah, this is skeleton, someone dead here. And this is how they bury people. Look at this bury things. They put dead people on here and put them in the soil. Hold on. Oh, Nicholas, look at me. Ooh, look. No, take your hands away, look. Oh, look at the funny face.
On my nose.
Come on, I can put clothes on. You want to try clothes on, Lily?
No.
You're so bored, let's go then. Phew.
Come on, let's go.
Let's hold the grip.
I like this museum.
Okay, try some clothes then.
No, I'm trying me first.
Can I see grab climbing?
Yeah. That's good, maybe. I got them here.
Alright.
Dad!
Hello, Claire. Are you alright?
Would you want to come on?
No, darling, I'm going to look after Glebek if he's alright there. Glebek climbing mountain. Oh, seriously. Nice playground.
You can take this coat off you now. Tractor. Go on the tractor.
Oh, Nicholas is a driver. Is Gleb is okay there? Gleb? You alright? Yeah, I saw you. I will film you. We'll help him then. He might be in trouble. That's a good save, Gleb. Ой, осталось конец. Вот. I think you already done it one. Oh, yeah. Okay, bravo, Gleb.
Baby.
So shall we better go then?
Yes, if you want.
Yeah, we'll go to another place then. Great, look. There's a key. Look, there's a tool they use. There's somebody's horns. See? And look at the clothes they wear. This already. Look at this. Please don't touch the costume. Look at me, Gleb. Look, the smell skin. How this one shows this mining. Then we'll go to mining. They put this one on you.
Okay.
Come on in.
Are we going to the mine?
Smuggle it back to the car.
Yes. Going to the mine now.
No.
Look. Well, look, this is the pits. This was actually, this one is all the pits here, they all done. They've been exactly the same things here. This is where they're getting here, all the pits, they was getting flint from. Yeah? We already been in this area. Look, all these little dips, they were trying to get flint from. Come on, now they're going in you. Havana has all just been done. Look. Gleb, Gleb, look at me. And all the pits, it used to be as deep as this one, yeah?
They vary. Some are, this one's 30 feet, the one over there is 20 feet, the one on the peak of the site is 50 feet. Okay, do you want to do?
Oh, look at that. How these old people look. Can you imagine? They didn't have any sharp stuff. Also, their sharp tools was made of stone. Huh? Yeah, they try to make their way through the stone. How hard it must be.
Is this where they look some things?
Yeah? Look, another one. Look.
Oh, this is where they look some things, but they...
Yeah, look at this. This is shame. There's not enough. Look at the cave. Look. Look at the stone. Look, they even can see.
It would be better if it was hard.
Look here. It's similar to what we saw in Crimea, but you remember Crimea, don't you? Peshera. I'll go here and this one then. Oh. Делаем палатку. Вот у нас Боря разжигает костер, а Глеб у нас будет на тент, он палатку ставит. You understand the idea how they should be?
I don't get this.
Две дуги, how it's called. Как дуга будет по-английски, а, Боря? А?
Get it.
Arch, да, arch. There's two arches. They must cross each other in the middle. You understand this?
Глеб, have a look at instructions. Okay?
Yay!
Gleb, you have
Is there instructions? It's not necessary. You may do it without instructions. You know what to do.
There is in there.
Only help I will give you is to tell you to look at the instructions. Nothing else. I will
You don't want me to put a tent, don't you? I have 2 men here.
And what the hell is the instructions?
I have enough putting tent, even for Rainer. I'm sure if I go camping with Peter, I have to put tent there. I'm more than sure about that.
I want to go camping.
Райна, это Райан. Английский это равно будет.
Ну, Stray. Rainer. It's like Rainer.
Думаю, это Райан, Райан.
Вообще-то Раймонд и Райнер, не знаю.
I get it. No, I think I sort of guessed.
Боря, ты знаешь, что это не полная палатка? Это у него нет второй части. Это упрощенная палатка. It's not proper one. Так, where are the things which you actually put in the ground? There's not even things which you put in the ground.
Глеб, Глеб, соберись сначала. Собери все отсюда.
You put them all in one thing, because you will need... There's no things which you put in the ground.
Есть,
Where?
Успокойся, они здесь.
Take a hammer. Hammer is in my bag.
And that red bag.
Ты сказал, не помогай ему. No, but it's not the tent what you should take with you, camping. It's because it's not waterproof enough. It's just a toy. It's for beach one, simple one,
I'll get the hammer for you.
not proper one. You need someone which. Where are the things which you put in the ground if you have got any?
Они там.
Pegs. You said pegs. It must be a place for pegs.
Они здесь есть, мам. Не волнуйся.
Да мне все равно, делать что хотите. Вообще не моя палатка.
Глеб, давай.
It's not necessary to read instructions if you know what to do. In some way it's even confusing.
Telling me to do this. Too much smoke.
It's not smoke, Dad. That's good smoke. It's not from tobacco.
Actually, no. I must put these in.
No, just leave them to sort out.
David, if I was you, really, I would look at instructions first. You did it.
I know without instruction what to do.
And study.
You must to find the holes, the puts where you put them through. You might need to put them all the way through. Okay, read instructions, please. I wouldn't.
What it say? Okay, I get it now.
Come on, then.
I get it.
You know what, Gleb? If you make the tent yourself without anyone else's help, I'll give you $5.
Fiver.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this myself.
Without anyone else's help. And asking questions. Only if I'm telling you, you're supposed to listen. But don't ask. I may correct you if you're doing anything wrong.
I must put this in my phone. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Any one question, pound less. Не, Боря, это не тент, это игрушка. It is. It is toy for beach. Чё это у меня кончается батарейка так быстро?
А?
Батарейка быстро кончается. У меня камеры нормально нет, у меня батарейка есть ужасная. Unless I need to buy a new
Mom,
one.
look, I get scratched.
Oh, darling. Oh, precious.
I got a scratch on my finger.
Oh,
Look at my
darling.
scratch on my
Oh,
finger.
my precious. At least you're trying.
Yeah. I think I'll see.
He's my boy.
You don't say. Don't say the club.
Lil, if you're hot, I have this little shoes for you.
I'm hot.
You can take your boots off if you like.
I'm hot.
There's the shoes there for you.
Возьми. Лиля.
Да вы saw today one. We saw one other.
Mom.
А где вы ее видите?
Mom, the insect that went on my hand.
Не кипарис.
Mom.
This is not even pegs to be put in the ground.
Yes, they are.
Where they are?
Look over there. Yes.
Show me them.
What pegs? Okay. All pegs.
It's certainly not big enough for you two.
It is big enough.
Hey, look, it's looking like a something.
I'll hold it, yeah? Hold it up.
And this is going around. And here. And you'll need these.
Instead for they're doing survival skills. Well, you know this ape, go ape. This is the course as well. There was Gleb should go. He can go there with Boris. Ape. You want to go with Gleb, go ape. The survival course, where you climbing all the way there.
Look at the back.
Боря.
No, I don't.
You're very helpful.
А сколько эта палатка стоит, а?
Gleb.
How much cost this tent, а?
It was 18, but then it was reduced.
No, of course it's just a toy. This is not normal price. This must be another part of cloth on the top. There's not even this one on. This is a beach tent.
It's waterproof. What do you mean it's waterproof?
No, maybe it is waterproof for small rain, but it's not what people taking proper camping for night stay. It's day tent. Like what if you have rain now? We can. You don't need permission to put something like this anywhere you like.
Oh, it's raining, Mom. It's raining.
You can go to the beach and put it there.
Mom, if it's raining, you can go in the tent.
Yeah, lovely. That's not the main idea. And don't forget to put the specs on the ground. That's the most important thing. No, Gleb, you want your 5 or what? Or Boris want 5?
Some parts I can't do.
But we're doing half. I'll get 250 and Gleb can get.
No, I'm not paying to you, sorry. All idea for me is to interest Gleb.
What would you need these?
Now, all you need. Gleb, come on, tell me. What we need now?
Yeah. Let's put the thing.
No? Hammer them then.
I'll put them in now, yeah?
Huh?
Put in.
No, put them whenever. I want him to eat them at the same time with me.
I'm tired, I am. Are you tired, Gleb? Yes, I am. I'm taking my bag in it. You need a hammer.
This will be tricky there, it's so much grass, but you still can do it. See, these things which you clip to the ground, they're not even strong enough. I said to you, it's a joke, it's not a proper tent. Don't take this one with you. And plus, it's another one is nice, you can relax there.
Yeah, but this is Sainsbury's.
This is home tent, you don't need permission to put something like that anywhere you like. You can leave it here and stay here all night. Or even in the car park. I don't think they'll say you anything. Only if you're not supposed to be at night here.
Well, I think all the clips...
If you put a stand somewhere near Cypresses, where there's a lot of people there, they won't say your word. But they will say your word if you put this proper one on.
The clips are all done. Yes.
I saw something like this on the beach for a while.
Yes, I know.
On the Goldstone beach, they're putting a lot of them.
I can't ask any questions. So I know what to do next.
Aren't you done already, Gleb?
No, there's meant
You nearly did.
on top.
Look how good. If it's starting rain, we can go inside here.
Mom, there's meant to be a thing on top of it.
Gleb, don't ask money questions.
I'm not asking.
No, there's no top and a simple tent.
Okay then. I'm sure there's meant to
Small one, even.
But did you put packs from all 4 sides?
be. Yes, of course.
From all 4? What about here?
Mom, I did it all by myself.
Well done, Gleb.
So I think I deserve 5.
Okay. But you're not finished yet, don't you?
You finished, Gleb, or not?
But like I'm saying, and I repeat and again and again, it will be a big mistake if you take it for proper camping. Huge mistake. It will be ridiculous, especially there on the hill.
Mother, don't you care?
Yes, of course I blinking care. Do you want to go down the hill? That's excellent for day stay, like now. Well done, Gleb. Congratulations. Can you clap, Gleb?
Well done.
Well done.
Can I go
Gleb.
to the tent now?
Yeah, you can. You can take some stuff there as well, Gleb. Lil.
Everything's done.
You can take all the stuff there. You lie down on this stuff because it will be a little bit cold like that.
All done.
Well done, Gleb.
Oh, I have to put this on me. 1, 2, look, I'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Gleb can count. Mommy, can you believe it?
Can you do it in Russian, Gleb, huh?
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33,
Gleb
34,
can actually count.
35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75.
О, Глеб, это будет страшно, да?
Yes.
Stand next.
Stand down.
Глеб. Ой, it's gonna be scary. Ой.
I hope you're okay doing that.
Yeah.
Why? Who are you? You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it, but I'll do it more. Mom,
Out
I'll
of the
do
way,
it as
Out
well.
of the way, please.
Why?
Go back inside.
Lily, come. Where inside?
Go there.
Lily, is Lily here? Lily, stay away, darling.
He's gonna go high.
What about it? I don't think you should do it.
Go
Lily,
away.
where go away?
Bloody idiot, this will go on you.
Come on, Lily, come here.
What's wrong with you?
Ready?
Yes, this is man. Oh.
Lily, stay away, Gleb. What are you doing?
I'm joking.
Gleb, how about if you try it now?
What about if you fall off from here? What may happen?
Mom, nothing's gonna happen.
Huh?
I might hurt myself.
Well,
I must have a wee before
you may even die.
I must have a pee before I...
No, Gleb is not doing it.
Yes, I am. No, don't take
We're
that.
doing something else.
Go, stop. Stop. Ah!
Hold on tight.
Me. I
Don't
like
push
it.
him. Gleb is scared like this. Do you want some?
Yes, Lily, on there? Or
Do you want to go?